I want you to practice this deep theological meditation and activity. Are you ready? Are you ready with me? All right, I want everybody.
When we are in pain and we need to overcome things, we also look inside and we look on high. And to help us think about how we might incorporate some of those traditional ways of healing and helping ourselves, we're really so pleased to have come back to the program Reverend Larry Simmons, but also to be joined by Reverend Mayowa Reynolds as we think about how hope and faith is critical.
We're in a wilderness experience right now. Mm-hmm. And when Christ was in the wilderness experience and when he came out, there were three things that happened. The devil tempted him in three different ways. And he used the sacred text to even tempt him. The first was through food access, right? He said, turn this stone into bread because I know you hungry, right? Mm-hmm. And so I want to say to us that we should not become anxious over access to resources, because this platform is just provided for us all the opportunities and resources that we need to be successful, to have access to food. We have this access through food banks that are almost on every corner. Even Detroit Public Schools Community District is still passing out food on Mondays and Thursdays. So we should not become anxious as to whether or not we have access to food and resources. And then the second temptation was, he said, you're the Christ. So if you were to just jump off this cliff and cut your foot, the angels will pick you up before you touch the ground. And Jesus' response was, do not tempt the Lord your God. While it is true, he is our healer, he is our redeemer, he is our God, we should not tempt God. And so I want to encourage us to wear your mask, stay home, wash your hands, stay with your small clusters, and that God is still faithful, but we shouldn't tempt God by saying that we're not going to wear masks, or we're not going to follow the medical advice, or we're not going to follow the guidelines of the CDC and the experts who are using their intellect and their expertise to guide us in what is right. And then finally, he says, listen, this is the enemy, the devil, the evil one, whatever name you want to give. He's saying, look, if you just worship me, right, I can give you everything in the world. And Christ ends by saying, go away from me. You shall honor the Lord your God and no one else. Listen, let's turn inward. Let's turn to God to know that God has everything that we need is already inside of us. And as much as we want to go to the structure of the church, the building is not the church. The church is the living spirit of God in humanity that breathed the breath of life of us in Mesopotamia, East Africa, that animated humanity. God is within us. And if we are going to use the wisdom of God, the nurturing of God, the knowledge and power and grace of God, then we will be all right. We are in this together. So I'll end by saying, Pumoja tutashinga. Together we will win. God bless you and keep the faith.
Hallelujah. Preach, preacher, preach. Listen. I have I'm going to be very short because my sister has said what needs to be said. I want to teach you all a very, very deep theological practice. You have to go to school many years to master this practice, but I'm hoping I can share it with you right now. When you've had an opportunity to hear all of the information we've heard, and you've heard all of the different places that you should go, and you've sat with your child and had them melt down while they're trying to study for a multiplication test, I want you to practice this deep theological meditation and activity. Are you ready? Are you ready with me? All right, I want everybody.
Let it go.
Let it go, baby. You ain't got to sit in front of every video. Your child does not have to take every test. Come on now. The Lord has told us in Psalm 131, did you all know that the Old Testament of the Bible is also shared by Muslims and Jewish people? In this sacred text in Psalm 139, it says, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, which means you got the authority to decide, turn the TV off. You got the authority to say, you know what, Mr. Teacher, my baby can't handle this today. I'll check back in with you next week and it's all good. We're going to get under Dr. Fuller's tent. We're going to spend some time reading the Bible like Dr. Mayowa just gave us. Hey, y'all, guess what? I'm out.
Well, family, I think we're feeling uplifted, right, Christine? We're going to be able to stay safe, stay strong. And Dr. Avetta said, stay merry, based upon being filled up with what's in us as we look up and look out. I'm handing it to you. I'm feeling glorious. In the midst of the trial.
You know what? Yeah, I had a 2020 kind of day yesterday, and both of what you all just said made me smile. So, and I did a little bit of that yelling Rev yesterday with a few tears.
That's okay too.
So,
you can Jesus wept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.